is Sheryl Matsuoka, the president and CEO of the Hawaiʻi Restaurant Association and the Hawaiʻi Restaurant Association Educational Foundation. Thank you so much for joining us here on the HRA podcast, Restaurants of Hawaii. And in this episode, it's an exciting episode because I'm all about the AI. We explore how AI is revolutionizing the restaurant industry, from automating routine tasks to providing personalized customer experience. We discuss real-world examples of AI applications. And the analytics for inventory management, chatbots for customer service, and AI-driven marketing strategies. We'll dive into how AI enhances operational efficiencies, reduce waste, and optimizes staffing, ultimately creating a more seamless and enjoyable dining experience. We'll also cover the impact of AI on customer preferences, loyalty programs, and the future of smart kitchens. Join us as we unpack the benefits and challenges of the potentially exciting AI world for restaurant owners, employees, and customers alike. Whether you're a tech enthusiast or a restaurant professional, this conversation will offer valuable insights into the future of dining powered by artificial intelligence. And the name of this episode is AI in Restaurants, Tech Meets Taste. So we were at the National Restaurant Association show, Chris and I. And Chris, that's all I saw everywhere. Like I was like so zoomed into everything AI. So I'd like to start by thanking my three guests for taking the time to join us today and share their insights with our members and viewers. So may I please have each of you introduce yourselves? Can I start off with Chris?
Sure. Hi, everyone. My name is Chris Iwamura. I'm the third generation owner of Rainbow Drive-In. And a little bit about my background is that I have a master's in computer engineering. I used to be a software programmer in a past life before coming home and taking over restaurant industry. But I feel that I can bring some of that tech experience into the restaurant industry.
And it's so exciting, right, Chris? How it's just helping us, right? Reduce costs and help our operating. So may I also now have Russ, could you please introduce yourself?
Hello, I'm Russ Sumida, the president of AdStreamz Inc. We're a social media marketing business. And I didn't know this until Chris said something, but I guess in my past life, I was also a tech guy. So we both have that tech background. Hate to leave you out there, Tyler. I don't know what you're going to say, but you're probably the most tech here. So anyway, hello, everybody.
Thank you for joining us, Russ. And Tyler, tell them how much tech you've got.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tyler Carvalho, president of ShakaBots. Embedded in tech 24/7 for sure. Whether it's I have IT director background for the past 12 years. And ShakaBots is a robotics sales and service business that we started probably about 1.5 years ago. And so we have robots that service the food and beverage industry, as well as hospitality, floor cleaning, and some medical applications as well.
It's so exciting. You know, last year at our expo, right, we had the robots going around the show, and at the Restaurant Hall of Fame, we also had the robots there. So it's exciting, right? All right, so let's start off with the first one. Okay, this first question is for Russ. Russ, how do you define artificial intelligence in a way that's practical for everyday use in restaurants and businesses? Russ.
Wow, hey, you didn't tell me you were going to start with me. It's, and this is funny because recently I just came across a post on social media. So my current company, we're doing social media marketing. So I'm online a lot. And there was somebody that basically a tech guy that posted, stop calling everything AI because it seems like everything that comes out now, they're putting the AI tag on it. So for me, it's the intelligence part that I think makes the biggest difference. And it's with a computer programming background, that's the part that's, I guess, the artificial part is taking me out of the picture. But it's basically a tool that you can use to gather data on huge amounts of data that no human being would ever be able to process and return it in a very quick amount of time with something that a human can understand. And that to me is basically what AI is.
That's exactly what I feel too. It is, like you said, right? The speed and the volume that it can do in such a quick time, Russ, is just mind-blowing. So, Tyler, what is your definition of artificial intelligence in a way that's practical for everyday use in restaurants and businesses?
So to me, Russ touched really well on it. It's not like they kind of have their own mind. Rather, it's more something that us humans program into it with if statements, if this, then this, or filters, or gathering that large amounts of data, filtering it down to usable data that us on the opposite end can find useful, whether it's inventory, stocking properly, not overstocking, making sure we have enough, to the sector of robotics where it's, hey, let's gather the information in a space and make sure we don't run into objects, whether it's a chair or a human. Let's make sure that we don't do that, or we take a specific path. And if the path is blocked by someone, let's find an alternate route. And so these types of decisions that it's making, it isn't necessarily on its own. It's programmed into it from the get-go, and so it's nothing to be afraid of. However, it's just something that humans have put a lot of time and energy into finding all these different scenarios and inputting it into a computer program and allowing it to run through these parameters. And it's fast enough now that it can do it on the fly, and a robot looks relatively smooth when it's moving or avoiding an object, instead of really jerky and slow. And it's so much advancement has happened, and every day we advance in that sector and all the sectors, and so it's being applied to other industries, which is great. And so as we apply it more and find more uses and input more energy into this realm, we'll just see the growth continue to grow and make decision making maybe more efficient, or assistance or efficiencies improve through different sectors.
Love it, love it. And for myself, I've had my vacuum Roomba and my mopping Roomba, right? And I'm gonna say, gosh, it feels like 8 years, maybe longer. So I tell people when they talk about your ShakaBots, Tyler, I said, just think of it like a very tall Roomba. I said, it doesn't bump into anything, right? It just avoids everything. It maps out the room. It knows where it didn't vacuum. And they're like, oh.
Right.
So Chris, I know now you guys know how lazy I am, right? 2 Roombas in one small house. So Chris, how do you define artificial intelligence in the practical uses for restaurants and businesses?
I think Tyler and Russ summed up pretty much everything I could have said. For me, it's just how a computer is making your life easier or your operation easier in very small ways. And it can be in very big ways. I think a lot of technology talk in Hawaii can be very daunting and scary. Adopting something new, especially to those like our business who's been doing things the same way for a very long time, can be very scary. But explaining why and showing our employees and our customers, why we're making these changes can really, really help.
Nice, nice. And now we're going to talk about it in a sense of like a restaurant owner or a business owner, right? And how AI can directly impact their operations and streamline operations and affect their bottom line. So maybe Chris, you want to start off with thinking about how could restaurants and business owners, how should they pay attention to AI that can directly impact their operations, their bottom line, and improve efficiency and profitability?
I think first it's just kind of looking at your operations and seeing, what are the same things I'm doing over and over again, and how can I get help with that? What are the things that sometimes is like I hate doing? And just to give a quick example that's free to literally everyone, ChatGPT, if you hate writing job descriptions, you can just use AI to create templates, right? So just say, I need a template for this job position, and it'll kick out a template. And from there, you can kind of customize it to your needs and your restaurant's needs. For us, I can go over different examples of how we use AI, but it just takes away some of the touch points that come up day to day that we don't necessarily love dealing with, or it's just kind of mind numbing at some point. So yeah, that's kind of how we use it in a sense.
Nice, nice. So, Tyler, so you're in a lot of restaurants and a lot of businesses. How should the owners pay attention to how they can use AI that can directly impact their operations, their bottom line, their efficiency, and their profitability?
Well, Chris put a good point there about taking away mundane tasks. Something like your Roomba, very mundane task. We need Sheryl to do much better things than just mop the floor at home. So great to have that. And that's something that we push. We have skilled labor. We have other work staff that, yes, it's short. And so let's use them to their best abilities. We don't need them to mop or vacuum rectangles or large areas that takes them hours, or throughout the warehouse. Let's put a robot there and let's put them on something else that makes you money, improves your customer satisfaction, and that way you get a better environment to present to your customers, or you are leveraging your staff in a more useful manner. I've also seen in other businesses or restaurants, they use AI to control their inventory controls based upon how much food is being eaten, like at a buffet, for example. And so they can also see how one new dish is doing versus another, or how much consumption on a particular food group or item or raw material is being used. And so they can really fine tune their inventory management as well as their menu, and to what the customers like and what they don't like. And therefore, providing a better experience as well as reducing waste.
Nice, nice. So, Russ, you're in many businesses and restaurants. So, how should business owners pay attention to AI to help them with their profitability and their efficiency?
I think Chris and Tyler brought up the direct there, right? For me, from a social media standpoint, how it's helped us is, again, it's back to like Chris's template idea, right? Is if we get kind of a block on what's going on, mental can't create, and we can go to ChatGPT or whatever it may be and ask them to create content for us or ideas about content, and then we can take it. That might trigger, so that usually does trigger something, and we can go off on that, right? Maybe even so, I guess too, there's different levels of AI or getting into it. To me, like at the real surface level, Chris talked about templates, but like when you sent me the topic, I'm kind of like, well, I'm not in a restaurant, so what the heck do I know, right? So I've tried playing with some stuff, and like, to me, one of the things that I know a lot of people don't like is like creating schedules. So like I actually went into ChatGPT and said, look, I need to create a schedule for 5 employees. There's the restaurant's over from 8 to 8. They can't work over 20 hours in a week. I need 3 employees per shift. Create me the schedule. And it actually sent back like a schedule, employee A, employee B, and all these, the time slots. Then I said, okay, replace all the employees with these names. And so I went and put in the names in there, and it replaced employee A with Russ and employee B with Sheryl. And it was done in a matter of minutes, right? If even that. And it was really because it was the first time I tried to think about it. Now, if going forward, all you have to do is tweak that same set of commands, and you can get a new schedule every week a lot quicker every time. To me, that's very surface, right? I look at Tyler's business and I'm thinking, wow, if those bots had like cameras on and it captured my face and they had this huge database there of all the customers that ever walked into their place, now you start connecting all that kind of stuff, and pretty soon the bot's telling you, what you ordered the last time, or is greeting me by name, right? It walks me to the table. It's, how's your wife? Because they knew I came in with, it's like, and that's getting really deep into what, is potentially really spooky too, by the way. But there's, the possibilities are endless, right? And so I guess one point is to me, don't be afraid of just jumping in because there's a very surface level. On the social media side, there's bots now. I was playing with this bot yesterday on Instagram that allows Instagram to intelligently respond to questions. So I'm not even training it. It's kind of self-training based on how people are interacting with my content too. So it'll actually draw upon past content and say, oh, are you looking for this kind of menu, this kind of item, or, based on what they're looking at and what I have in my content database, which is my social media stream. So it's like, wow, that kind of blew me away as far as, if I'm a restaurant now and if I'm thinking about what I should put in there, I really should start loading that thing up with like all of my different menu items, right? So that now when you really get into this bot, it can respond with like, here, check this out, right? Check this out. And it's all from past posts. So it's exciting.
It's super exciting. And imagine how quickly it does it, Russ. The
Yes.
speed,
Yes. Right.
the speed and the accuracy is what blows my mind. So
Right.
thank you. So
If-
Chris, maybe you can share some of the different ways you're using AI technologies in your restaurants, maybe like what Russ just talked about, whether it's scheduling, whether it's inventory. How are you using AI technologies?
So one thing I kind of want to talk about too is a term called integration and how well different technologies can integrate with each other. We won't mention our point of sale system because this show is not sponsored, but our point of sale is actually highly integrated with a lot of different technologies. For instance, whenever we get invoices, even they can be decently handwritten. The chicken scratch ones are a little harder. But what we do is we just take a picture with our phone and it reads it, uploads it, updates our recipe costing real time. And that's helping on that end. I think a lot of businesses are experiencing a lot of chargebacks now, which is when customers are unhappy and they refute basically the entire charge of the bill or part of it. Our POS system goes in and will use generative AI to write a report about it to the bank, or the credit card company, and attach the receipt. And all we have to do is press send, or we accept the chargeback, just depending on the situation. We were very close, Russ. There was a AI company that did a scheduling app where you just put in the worker, what positions they can work and their hours available, and it would create schedules. Unfortunately, they closed up, I think maybe a few months ago. I know we were working with them and they're so close, but I guess their funding ran out. But that's kind of a dream for, especially in the day of like a lot of call outs or sicks, once somebody goes sick, we have to go back into our entire schedule. And if, an AI could do that and kick text messages or calls to our employees saying, hey, there's been a change in schedule, things like that, that would really help. But yeah, we've just been using it here and there and trying to make sure it integrates with our sales system. And so we can put things like marketing to actual numbers. We run a campaign, we can see not exactly how much, but if it affected, revenue during that period.
Nice. So Tyler, you're in a lot of restaurants. How are you seeing restaurants using the AI technology?
Well, for me, I'm focusing on trying to enhance the worker and customer experience a lot of times with my robots. And so that's really what our focus is. We explain to management as well as staffing, hey, this is here to just help and assist you do your job better. It's not taking any jobs away. It's incapable of replacing humans. And therefore, as long as you can understand how to multitask with this robot, it will ultimately help you and provide a better service to your customers. Not to mention that it's such a novelty here in the US, especially in Hawaii, that it creates such a buzz for your business. Everybody's always taking pictures of it, posting it on social media. It kind of advertises itself. And we even have some now that have big advertising screens where you can put your message or your special that you're running, or if it's in a supermarket setting, hey, let's put the sample that it's giving out, or the featured product of the week that's on sale. And so having these new ways of bringing in customers or separating yourself above the rest that have been doing it for, the same sort of way for many, many years. This is a breakout way to kind of get your head above the rest and stick out above the crowd in marketing as well as servicing. And so that's what we like about these robots. And so we've seen a lot of customer surveys come back higher than it's ever been in these restaurants that we do have these robots in. And their customers are really enjoying having the robot there. It's really boosting their overall satisfaction of the business and makes them want to come back.
Nice, nice. Russ, anything to add then? Because you're in so many restaurants.
No, my mind is wandering. I want to get off this call because these guys got some great ideas for there's like all kinds of opportunity out there. It's like, it's blowing my mind as far as like, like, holy cow, if we could do this with that, then man. And so one of the things that Chris brought up is like that rescheduling thing. It's funny that he should mention that because when I ran that scenario through the chat GPT bot, one of the things that came on as suggestions is, do you need to adjust this schedule because somebody called out? So it's like, exactly what he's saying. That's top of mind for even the AI bot has known that, right? There must be so many people out there doing the exact same thing, right? Here's my schedule. Now they're right back in there saying, okay, wait, somebody called out, adjust my schedule now. I didn't click that button, but I'm like, when he said it, I'm like, wow, these things actually are kind of smart. And it's spooky how smart it is because just how much data it's gathering. So, I'm sorry, I lost your question, but that was this.
No, you answered
I love
it.
this technology is just all. And you're talking to a room full of geeks, so that's your fault for.
And Chris knows I married a geek, so I need him. I'm always like, tech support. I'm locked out. My computer is not doing something. I forgot how to log in. Tech support, and my husband comes running. Chris knows that my husband's very techy also. So let's talk about inventory. Is there anybody on this group that uses artificial intelligence for inventory control?
Not yet for us. It is a part of, the plan. It does take time to get these processes and procedures in place. But yeah, I mean, it's something we definitely want to do. And if AI can help keep track of our inventory and also help with the ordering side, if it can predict that, hey, next week or this holiday, we do this much more, like maybe we should order X percent more, things like that. That would really help.
That would think Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I would think the hard part is exactly what you said, that keep track part, right? I mean, it's one thing to develop the intelligence to be able to process the numbers, but if somebody's not telling you, I just took this pound of whatever off of the shelf, and then to have that person have to stop to go and put that in somehow, that the data side is, I mean, the capture part to me is probably the hardest on inventory in a restaurant. I would assume, like retail, everything gets scanned, I guess, on the way out kind of thing, versus ingredients. Man, good luck, guys. That's a challenge, I guess.
It's just organization and making sure things are in the correct place. That's usually the hardest.
Yes. So is there any specific examples where AI has helped you folks, maybe in a restaurant or a business, that solved a problem or streamline a process, similar to what you're saying about the scheduling? Is there any other examples that we can mention to our members and viewers?
Sure.
For us, it was just more the recipe costing and the invoice intake of that, and so we can get real-time costs of all our products if things go up or down, especially now where things are less volatile, but still, they can go up and down daily. So for us, that's where it's helped the most.
Nice. Anything?
I have a customer that it's a small mom and pop style restaurant where they were so understaffed and unable to find workers that they were having to close a few days a week just to keep up. Or they actually also closed their dining option, therefore only to goes. But we added 2 robots for them, and the husband would cook, the wife would answer the phone, and the robot would do everything else in between to serve the customers, bust the tables. Therefore, we were able to have them stay open and open in-room dining, therefore increasing their sales. Another instance is with the robots running food back and forth between the kitchen. It allows the staff or the waiter to speak with the customer more, tell them some jokes or stories, upsell them on some new drinks or other appetizers. And so that's some direct correlations as to how this AI has helped these industries, or this food and beverage industry especially, as it's taking off the fastest right now with these robots anyway. And so that's how they've actually helped the bottom line and helped profitability for the owner as well as the server. So it helps all around.
Nice, nice. Russ, you have something you want to share before?
The only thing
Okay.
I mean, as a wrap, I would just say, don't be afraid, and
Nice.
well, don't be afraid and don't overuse the term. That's from a geek standpoint. Stop overusing the term, but it's everywhere. You can't, if you haven't even noticed, if you try and Google stuff nowadays, right? What gets returned, the first thing at the top of the screen is very AI generated. It's not your traditional, here's links to other websites, right? It's actually a process. It processed your query and gave you back a solution, not just links. So, it's everywhere.
Amazing, amazing. So gentlemen, I'm going to wrap this up. I want everyone to just share whatever they have to say before we close the show, and a thought of looking ahead, what you envision the future in the food service industry for AI. Are there any specific advancements or innovations that you're particularly excited about, Chris, other than inventory, right? But looking ahead, how do we envision the future of AI in our industry? And let's do a wrap. I'll go ahead and start off with Chris.
Okay. I think for the future, there will be some of those restaurants that are fully robotic, automatic, but I still think the restaurant industry is about, the people touch points, the cashiers there, the cooks in the back. And so I think AI and technology in general can only just help, the back end and the front end in some part with just efficiencies and improving the experience of everyone. So I hope that we can find a good mesh between technology and people.
Nice. Me too, Chris. Me too. Like you said, it's just nice to see the same hostess whenever I go into a restaurant, right? The servers, right? Talk to the GM. So yes, I totally 110% agree. That's why we go out, so that we can socialize, right? Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and go to Russ. Russ, looking ahead, what do you envision for the future of AI in the restaurant or businesses? And is there anything specific that you're particularly excited about?
I'm excited about how it's going to be able to help the industry. How specifically, I mean, there's many different ways that I can see it happening. I agree with you both as far as I don't think the human touch will go away. What I think, and I hope not, right? But I think might happen or should happen maybe is that AI can help make that maybe a deeper experience, so that the person can have a lot more data at their screen, maybe in front of them when you walk up to the window or to the podium, and greet me by name, greet my wife by name, greet my kids by name, that kind of stuff that at least keeps it human. Because I think, the pandemic showed us, right? It's no fun to not have, we're humans, we're human beings. We should be able to interact and do all that stuff. And food is it has always been, right, a way to bring people together. So I would hope to see that continue, but maybe enhanced as far as, trick me into the fact that you knew it was my birthday, or whatever it is. I don't mind, but I'd rather you trick me as a human being than have that bot. Sorry, Tyler, I don't mean it, any bot, but have just that digital response. I think that's what I would look forward to.
Oh, nice, nice. Tyler, so what do you envision for the future of AI in the food service industry?
Well, I think it needs to be find a balance, like everybody's saying. I think it would be I'm always very hesitant to give out personal information in the IT world, especially for myself or my family. You know, I'm not going to put my real birthday, for example, down on a thing. But at the same time, it depends on the restaurant style to me. You know, if it's a nicer high-end restaurant, I'm going to want that personal service. I'm going to want somebody telling me the specials. I want them to give me tableside service, you know. But on the other hand, we have some McDonald's that are fully automated, for example. And so in that industry, hey, I want it right away. I'm there. I need to be in and out. And so let's streamline it as quick as we can. Front end, back end, you know, inventory management, delivery, the whole circle would be great. And therefore, it would be nice to see more enhancements, of course, more surprises or more innovative ways to leverage this technology. That's always fun to see. And it's a draw for customers to come in and experience that for the first time as a novelty. And so that's always nice. But in the future, after this really ramps up, I think it would be more cost saving and also ways to just be a more consistent service throughout all the different levels of the food and beverage industry itself, front end to the back end and the customer side. So you get overall a really great experience and are not afraid of seeing and interacting with this technology on a daily basis or when you're out with your family or your kids, and utilize it or at least have them understand what it's used for, its limitations, as well as its benefits.
Nice, nice. You three are so smart. Oh my goodness. What a pleasure. Thank you so much for joining us today. I just love it. So in closing, I just want to thank you all for joining us today. The Hawaii Restaurant Association is the organization unifying, representing, and supporting the Hawaii restaurant and food service industry. Please remember to nourish connections, savor life, eat well, and live well. Until our next episode, thank you so much for joining us.